Hi friends, Roxanne here. I'm going to share a little bit of this last touch that I added to my sketchbook page. So like I brought up in my previous video, I was really excited to do this. I hadn't done this in a while, and that's to layer the pastels and Inktense blocks on top of this. So I used some of these Charbon sticks. They look like, I should have the lid off of these. Oh, come on. They look like these. And they look almost like the Inktense sticks, but they're just a little bit skinnier. Anyway, so those two on top of these, and then I wanted to treat the page with something, because if you just close the book, they're going to smear on each other. This pastel is a little bit fragile. So I had some of this natural, it's called natural glass spray varnish made by Spectrafix. And I hadn't used this in a while, and I just remember being kind of meh about it, but it's got, beeswax in it, and I thought, well, let's give this a try again. It's my sketchbook. Hey, what could go wrong? And that's, it's where I experiment anyway, so it's a good place to do that. Usually I would use something like camera varnish when I'm, if I have, if I want to finish off a watercolor and hang it and frame it without glass, I'll use camera varnish and then some Dorlands wax on top. I know some people that just throw the wax on, but if you have a fragile medium like pastel on top of your watercolor and you just start throwing on the wax, you're just going to smear it into one big blob. So you don't want to do that. So anyway, I thought, well, I know how the camera works, and since this is experimental in my sketchbook, let's try out this Spectrafix. It's okay. I don't like it quite as much as the camera varnish, but it doesn't stink like Krylon. So in the winter, that's good. I do use it in the basement where I have I can't go outside. It's too cold here in New England. So in the winter, if I need to spray something, I'll take it down into the basement. So anyway, this does not smell. Not bad, and it's supposedly odor-free, non-toxic, and you do it in light coats, and you're going to hold your bottle like away from it. You're not going to just poke right in here. You're going to hold it away so you can allow a mist to fall on it, and then you're going to want to do like 3 coats so that it's really coated, and let each coat dry for a little bit, and the directions are pretty easy to follow. Then once that's dry, I felt it gave me kind of like almost like a weird crusty finish. I wasn't in love with it. So I thought, well, let's put on the Dorlands wax. I like how that will finish a page. So, it comes in a big tub like that. It looks like it sounds paste. Some people use a paper towel to apply it. I use just an old cotton t-shirt that I've cut down into a rag. And then when I'm putting it on, I always like gloves, because there's certain things that you just don't want on your skin. It just doesn't feel good. And it's not only a wax, but it's a wax and a rosin. See, it's a compound of waxes and rosin. Most people don't mention that when they talk about it, and they're like, oh, it's just wax. It's wax and rosin. So you don't want that stuff on your skin. So I lightly buff that in. You can do 1 coat or 2 coats. It's a sketchbook, so I just did 1, and then I buff it down with the same rag, and that felt a lot better to the surface, and then that protects that pastel coat. But what was nice when I sprayed it with this fixative, this is a water soluble pastel. What was interesting is when I sprayed it with this, it kind of released it a little bit, and you can see it kind of spreads, and so there's this beautiful little organic spread about it, and I thought it was super lovely. So that's the one thing that I really did like about this. So it's got some good qualities too, and so that's where experimenting with your supplies in a place that's not going to break your heart if it really craps out. So experiment. That's how you find out all the good stuff. So I wanted to share that exciting little bit of scoop with you so you could try it out too. Anyway, I just find this whole, adding that pastel was such a lovely touch. It just really, um, it just makes it a little more expressive. I mean, it was fine, just the watercolors on their own, but I thought, let's give it a little more texture. I love texture in work. So, um, and those that have known me for a long time, when I spent like several decades painting in oils with a palette knife, I love texture. So anyway, I was just looking for more ways to bring a little bit of texture and dimension into this. And that was a lot of fun. So I hope you'll try it too. All right, happy painting, friends. We'll see ya. Bye.